I got a story for everybody that is worth your time to follow along to realize how important it is to know who you're speaking to on the phone. Again, real story, but I'm not going to name names because I'm not here to hurt anyone's business. My girlfriend's father owned a funeral home in Ohio. He passed away, unfortunately. They were preparing flowers and all the other needs for the celebration of life afterwards and the gathering and the food. There's just a lot going on in this setting. I stayed out of it, and they all know what my background is. If they need any help with the flowers, I was more than happy to help them. It was progressing, and they lost sight of the flowers like many people do. Last night, as I was talking with my girlfriend Lisa, and we were talking about the holidays and the type of flowers that she likes, and I just recently got her flowers, and she liked certain greens and how different it was, and I said to her, you can have all that in the casket spray for your dad. So in her mind, just like many people's, well, it's just the piece. Does it really get customized? Do you customize that? What do you do? Nobody really knows. You as a local florist need to sit back and educate people. It's not all about the money or how much they're going to spend. In this case, it was a $265 casket spray, basically bare minimum. So let me give you the players in this. We have the owner of the funeral home in Ohio, and the owner name is Bernie. He passed away. He has 2 daughters and then family after that. So you would think in the hierarchy, you have the owner, Bernie, 2 daughters, and then friends, family, acquaintances, and down the line. I would put myself at the lowest level of acquaintances down the line. I simply gave ideas, and she asked if I could please get on the phone and speak to the florist on their behalf and discuss what they have available and if they can do what we're asking for. Dendrobium orchids, or any white orchid that you have. It would be red roses, white orchids. Then I asked for holly, which could be hit or miss, and then variegated, preferably, some berries, and birch. Sounds like a pretty beautiful casket spray for the holidays. Nothing that I think would throw anybody off. She asked if I could speak to the shop owner and get this done. This is in the Cincinnati area, and I do have a very close friend of mine from Adrian Durbin Florist. I didn't offer or suggest to go to Adrian Durbin whatsoever. They had their thing going on. I wasn't interested in disrupting that. I called the flower shop in that part of Cincinnati, and the owner had such an egg. As I'm speaking to him, I asked if I could speak to a designer. He said, I said, do you have any design experience? Well, the owner happened to answer the phone, and the owner said he doesn't have design experience, but his partner does. Can I speak to your partner? Partner's not there. Okay. So we're talking about the flowers. Could it possibly be in this casket spray that you can add some white dendrobiums? No, we don't have those. I'd like to know if there's anyone watching this that doesn't have white dendrobium orchids or have access to white dendrobium orchids within 5 days. So he doesn't have them, and he might be able to get some next week sometime. He just isn't feeling like it can be done in time for the funeral within 4 or 5 days. This is unfortunately happening in our industry, and then people think that's it. He said that, so it's not available. We're on the phone with him, and my girlfriend's on the phone. Funeral home manager's on the phone, the one that's got the relationship with him, and he's telling her, we don't do that here. It's not popular here. People don't have orchids here. And I'm sorry, everybody has access to dendrobium orchid. But again, they have no reason to question him. So I know we can get dendrobium, and my girlfriend's like, I really want what we talked about. I love the idea of holly, berries, white birch branches going throughout. I mean, it's going to be very pretty. Well, she really wants that. I didn't force. This guy does not want to do it. He says, we can't get them. So she said, can I source them and bring them into you? He didn't know what to say. We don't normally do that, I guess. He made it so difficult on her. Like, so what? Bring them in if you can't get them. Why shouldn't you be able to get them? I didn't get into any of that, nor did I tell him who I was or what kind of experience I had. I just wanted them taken care of, and they went to this flower shop. Stay with that flower shop. But we can't get the order done. I will say that this is a Bloom Nation flower shop. I did have to put that out there because of how I feel about Bloom Nation, but that's another story. The owner uses Bloom Nation. I asked her, look, I tried everything I can to give this guy the business and to keep it with him. Can you just call my friend? Because Adrian Durbin is a tier 1 florist, period. They're one of my first shops that I work with on the website. We all need to come together and make a better standard for our industry, because I don't question the fact that florists love the industry and they want to do better, but I don't know that they know about these options. I called up Adrian Durbin. I spoke to Linda. Absolutely looking forward to it. It'll be a beautiful casket spray. Yes, we can get orchids. Yes, we can get birch branches. And yes, we have assorted greens and holly and berries. And then I asked her if we can add some angels, 3 angels added on, and then 3 ribbon scripts. I don't sell these things because I want to sell and make more money. I sell them because people want a keepsake to take home with them. I always tell people it's like a keepsake angel for a family member to take home with them. It was like in and out, done within 5 minutes. They had the casket spray, they had 2 standing sprays to complement them, and it was over $1,500 in business. Unfortunately, the funeral home had to call the local flower shop that was closer and cancel the order. You just lost $1,500 worth of business, but let's think about what else he lost. He lost the confidence of that funeral home doing business with them, because everything he said he couldn't do, I said you could do, and I picked up the phone and it was done. It wasn't a big deal. My point to you, and the reason I'm making this video, is lost order logs, opportunity log. Maybe I'm going to rename it. Anytime you can't close an order, it should be noted. You should know who it was that you said no to. You should be letting the owner of the shop know. I had to say no for this funeral. And then you look at the name and say, isn't that the owner of the funeral home? Yes, he passed away. Oh my God. We got to make sure that that relationship stays intact so they can keep doing business in the future. There's so much that you learn from looking at the people involved in an order. There's the sender, there's the recipient, and then there's the florist that's involved. If that's my account, I want to make sure I'm doing everything I can for them. I would think you would think the same thing. But remember, nobody's going to challenge you, business owner, because you're the business owner. No one's going to want to challenge you. There's no reason to. People that challenge you are people that care. Every time I challenge a flower shop is because I truly care. And if they just hear me, maybe they're going to have a new opportunity in front of them that they didn't know was there before. You see, we're so used to doing things our own way. This is how we've always done it. Who's going to challenge them? It's important to keep your circle of friends in business, people that you want to be like or have a lot of synergies with, so you're both complementing each other. However, in this case, tiny little shop, nothing wrong with that either, but he doesn't have the foresight to say, geez, maybe we should be doing this, or maybe we can look into that. Or maybe if he saw that I knew a little bit more, he would ask me, what are you talking about? Well, let me see what I can do. Why not partner up, buddy up with me, and let's help get the order done. And at the end of the day, that's $1,500 in your pocket. I don't want a penny. I want my girlfriend's family to get what they were hoping for, which is going to be a beautiful winter arrangement on the casket with what? Dendrobium orchids, red rose, and holiday greens, along with some birch branches and holly. I don't think I was asking for very much. Please let me know your comments on this. This was a pretty big video that means a lot to me. I hope it does to you. This will help your business if you think about it and apply it to your business. And what's the answer here? Lost order log. You can't be everywhere at every moment. And I know you don't want to think that you miss any orders, but you do. Everybody does. All I'm asking you to do is tell anyone that works for you, if they miss an order opportunity, they can't close. How much is a dozen roses? $80. Click. You want to know about, can you still get delivery today? It's past our delivery time. You want to know about that. Even if you set the delivery cutoff for that time, you want to know how many people are you turning away. I hope you understand my point. And I feel terrible that this guy lost the business, because he did lose it. I didn't take it from him. I didn't come into this with, we're going to get this business over to Adrian Durbin. Adrian Durbin simply picked up the phone and said, sure, okay, when do you need it by? It should have been that simple. Please leave me some comments, like and subscribe to the channel. The flower industry needs people that are going to call out substandard service. And I consider this to be substandard service. What do you think?